If you're a real estate agent trying to go from 25 transactions to 50 transactions, or 50 transactions to 100, like many of our agents here at the Agent First Group, then you need a virtual assistant. In other words, you need leverage, and a real estate virtual assistant is the exact person to help you with that. So today I'm going to share with you how we've hired over 50 virtual assistants to help us in our real estate business. I'm going to share with you how to prep your real estate business in order to hire a virtual assistant. I'm going to show you how to actually hire a VA the right way. And I'm also going to share with you the workflow necessary in order to onboard VAs and continue working with them without skipping a beat. So make sure to stay to the end because I have a very special bonus for you. All right, so let's start with the prep work necessary in your real estate business. That's right, your specific real estate business needs to be prepped. So let's take this step by step. And the first thing that I want you to do is to get a project management tool such as Trello, such as Notion, such as Asana, such as Monday.com. Select whichever one you want. My personal favorite, the one that we are using for all of our businesses, is Notion. So that's the project management tool that I would recommend through and through because we've tried all of the other project management tools and we've migrated out of them into Notion. And at this point, it's probably been about 2 years since we made that migration and we haven't looked back. And the reason I want you to go with the project management tool right out of the gate is because I don't want you to work with your virtual assistants through email or through Skype or through WhatsApp. I want you to have a project management tool. Sure, you can email, sure you can Skype, sure you can WhatsApp. However, that's for communication. When it comes to the workflow, you're gonna see how we integrate Notion into everything. So that's why I want you to start with that foundation and then we'll start building from there. Now, once you have your preferred project management tool, it's time to prepare your business. And that starts off by you taking inventory in what you're doing right now. Now, this exercise of you taking inventory of what you're doing right now is not necessarily a virtual assistant exercise. It's more of an exercise for you as an entrepreneur and you as a business owner. Because I want you to list out what you do every single day. I want you to have clarity on what it is that you're actually doing every single day. Do you find yourself sending emails all of the time? Do you find yourself on social media all the time? Do you find yourself making videos? Are you doing appointments all of the time? Where is your time going? Now, I'm not gonna judge what you do or do not do. That's something for you to decide. That's why you are doing this exercise. That's why you are the one that's getting clarity on your real estate business from the beginning. Because here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have clarity on where your time is going. You're gonna have clarity on certain tasks that maybe you shouldn't be doing. And most importantly, you're gonna be able to identify what it is that is causing you stress. What is actually taking your energy that is causing you to say, I just don't have time to do anything else. Those types of tasks are going to be huge indicators for us that we need to do something with them. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Once we have our first list of everything that we're doing, we're going to be able to filter out the things that we need to stop doing, things that we can leverage out. We can make some decisions from that list. But first, we need to create a prospecting list and a time-saving list. These two lists are either going to make you money or save you money. Make you money in the sense that in your prospecting list, you're gonna list out everything that you could be doing to grow your business. In other words, this could be you prospecting via cold calling. This could be prospecting via email marketing, text marketing, social media marketing, all the different strategies that you can think of that will actually generate business. I want you to list out as many prospecting strategies that you personally could be doing in order to generate business. And the time saving list is a list of items that are going to save you time. These are tasks that may not necessarily make you money, but can save you a ton of time. And that can be so many different things, such as confirming appointments. It could also mean sending email updates to your clients. It can also be document management, anything that's going to save you time and that you wish that you were doing. Now, once you have your 3 lists, it's time to make decisions. Now remember, your first list is a list of things that you're doing right now. The second list is a prospecting list. This list has a ton of tasks that will help you generate business. And your third list are things that will save you time. So while they may not make you money directly, they are going to save you time in order for you to go out there and prospect so you can bring in more business. And once you have those 3 lists, again, I would suggest that you put them on Notion or on Monday or on Trello, wherever it is that you're doing these notes. I want you to identify 3 things, no more, no less. I want you to identify 3 things that you can outsource. Meaning, what are these 3 tasks that can save you some time, that can make you some money, that can really de-stress you from what you're doing right now? And really be honest with yourself, what's gonna help you move your business forward? Most of you are gonna select your 3 things from the list of the things that you're doing right now. And that's completely okay because you're buying your time back right here and right now. But some of you are gonna select all 3 tasks to come from your prospecting strategies, meaning you're gonna try to get somebody to help you with cold calling, with sending out DMs in cold fashion, do all these text marketing strategies. You're gonna try to do all of the prospecting strategies. Now, while I can't tell you exactly what you need to select because I don't know what your business looks like, I can give you some suggestions that work incredibly well with a virtual assistant. You can outsource video editing and graphic design fairly easy. There's a lot of qualified professionals that will help you do that. Now, it's gonna take some time to find that quality professional, which we'll talk about here shortly, but those types of skill sets exist out there in mass. Another thing you can outsource is your email and calendar management. This task is mostly a time-saving task, but it's something that you're probably doing anyway, so you quickly gain some time back. Phone support, that's something that's typically associated with a prospecting strategy, so you can hire somebody to make your prospecting calls. And then transaction management. Now, here's where I really have to caution you. Your real estate association overrides anything, and I mean anything I could say. So make sure that you know your rules, laws, and regulations. Know what you can and cannot outsource to your virtual assistant. So of course, I wouldn't recommend that your virtual assistant write an actual contract. That's your responsibility. So know what you can and cannot outsource. Now, they can do the document management pretty much no question, but when it comes to the actual real estate tasks, those are still yours. Now again, this was all the prep work, and the reason that we spend so much time in the prep work is once you have clarity on what you're doing, what your needs are, when you go out to hire somebody, it's gonna make it so much easier. Please don't skip this, because if you have no clarity right here, right now, and you go out and execute on the next things that we're going to talk about, you're gonna be lost, you're gonna get frustrated, and really your experience of hiring a virtual assistant is not going to work. All right, so now let's get into the actual hiring, because guess what? You know exactly what you need. Because you have clarity now, you know the 3 tasks that you want to outsource. You know the 3 things that you need. Now this is when you write the job description. So this is where you specify the tasks that you're hiring for, the dates and times that you're hiring for, the pay that you're giving for this particular job, and also the qualifications. Those 4 things are an absolute must, but there's actually a super weapon, a 5th thing that you cannot do without. The 5th thing that you're gonna do in your job description, in your job post, is ask for a special request. This is when you give special instructions to an applicant whenever they're submitting their application, because this is gonna let you know if they even read your job description, and also is gonna give you an idea if they're able to follow directions. As an example, if you're hiring for a video editor, ask for the top 3 edits that they're most proud of. If you're hiring somebody to do cold calling for you, well, ask them to send you a voice recording of them actually doing a call. Now notice that these are completely reasonable. We're not asking for anything abnormal, because right now we're just collecting applications. So we're making this job post and people are gonna reach out to us. Don't ask for anything unreasonable, or don't ask for anything stupid like 1,000 blog post in response to your application. That is not going to work. And now you may be wondering, well, where do I make this job post? You can go to Fiverr and hire somebody directly from there. There you just send them the description of what you're looking for. You can go to Upwork and you can post your job application there and people reach out to you. Or you can go to my preferred website, which is jaimeresendiz.com/VA. There, you're gonna see my preferred virtual assistant website where I source all of my virtual assistants. That's where I've sourced countless virtual assistants, video editors, content writers, cold callers, everybody. So again, just go to JaimeResendiz.com/VA and it'll take you right to it. Now, once you made your job description and you give it a couple of minutes, especially if you use the service that I go through, well, you're gonna be flooded with applicants. And depending on what you're hiring for, there are times where you could get 100, 200, 300. I've had up to 500 applicants for one position. So that's why it's vital that you include that fifth thing, which is that special request. You having that Easter egg in your job description is gonna help you so much because you're gonna quickly be able to discard all of the folks that weren't able to follow instructions. So think of it like a bulk pre-sorting. Now, in most cases and in most positions, you're gonna be able to apply the second filter, which is a paid trial. Once you whittle down all of the people down to a manageable list of people that you think might be able to do the job, you're gonna offer that paid trial. As an example, if you're hiring for a video editor, then ask them to edit a video for you. Again, it's paid, so this is a paid trial. You pay them for that. If you're hiring for a designer, well, send them something to design. If it's a social media manager, ask them to write a caption for you. If it's a cold caller, ask them to read a script for you. Now again, the paid trial does depend on the type of job that you're hiring for, but in most cases, you will be able to offer a paid trial up front because this is gonna help you determine if their work that they submitted to you in the application is actually theirs, because now they actually have to perform and you're gonna be able to see how they work. You're gonna see the quality of work, you're gonna see their turnaround time, and you're gonna see the amount of questions that they ask or don't ask, so it's gonna give you a lot of insight into how they work. I'd rather you do this than go through the entire effort of hiring an individual, spend 5 days, 10 days, 30 days trying to onboard somebody that just isn't a fit. So again, when you whittle down the list to the people that you're gonna send a paid trial to, you're gonna ask them, hey, are you open to a paid trial? And the second thing you're gonna ask for is, have you read the job description and are you okay with the schedule and the pay? Trust me, this is a pro tip that you absolutely wanna do ahead of time. And you're also gonna note something here in a couple of steps from now, because I'm gonna call back to this moment. Before we continue, allow me to welcome you to my YouTube channel. My name is Jaime Resendiz, and I help real estate professionals exponentially grow their business through actionable content. And I'm on a mission to help reduce the over 80% failure rate for real estate agents. So if you can hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell, that's gonna really help me out. All right, so let's do a quick recap. At this point, you have clarity on what you need. You've made your job post. You've sent out the paid trial. Now we get to the actual interviewing, because now once the paid trial comes back, you're able to determine, hey, this person actually does do what they say they're going to do. And you're also gonna find that there's gonna be individuals that commit to the paid trial, but never complete it. Again, it's a pro tip. We've done this so much that I can give you the pitfalls so you don't fall into them. Well, let me rephrase that. There's actually nothing that you can do to avoid that, because it's gonna happen to you regardless if it's your first VA or your 100th VA. People committing to do a certain work will say yes. You'll go ahead and pay them, because that's how we do the paid trials. We actually pay ahead of time and we get burned sometimes. So while technically you really can't change them not doing what they say they're gonna do, now you at least know. Now, to give you some realistic numbers or realistic expectations, at least with the service that we use, again, JaimeResendiz.com/VA, I wanna share with you what that looks like in practice. And since we hire editors so frequently, we'll go ahead and go with that particular job position. Now, the numbers do change and they do vary, but they're not gonna vary too much from position to position. These are typically the numbers that you can expect. From the 100 people that submit their application, you're gonna be able to discard at least 50% right out of the gate, because their work just really isn't up to speed, or they didn't respond in the way that you asked them to respond with that Easter egg, or something just does not feel right. So 50% are already gone and out of contention. So that leaves you with 50 applicants. From those 50 applicants, you're gonna make a determination which ones are going to get a paid trial. Typically, we send out 10 paid trials per position. Now, we don't send out a paid trial to all 50, of course. Those 10 are gonna be the cream of the crop. and we send all 10 the exact same footage. Because again, we're testing for turnaround time, we're testing for quality of work, and we're gonna see exactly how they move. And from the 10 video trials, we can count on 2 to 3 video edits just never coming back. And from what's left, we're gonna find 2 or 3 that just really weren't what we were looking for. 2 to 3 that actually do a pretty good job that we could realistically work with. But then we're gonna find that one stud, that one killer, that one person that's just absolutely head and shoulders above the rest. Take this video as an example. Our rockstar editor, shout out Adrian, the individual that is editing this very video, was that one rockstar. He was so dang good with all of the work that was given to him that he is now in a leadership position with us. And now he's actually our lead editor and oversees the entire video editing department. So if you're actually using our Done For You YouTube program for real estate agents, where we do all of your editing and channel management for YouTube, chances are you know exactly who I'm talking about because you communicate with him daily. So again, huge shout out to you, Adrian, because you're absolutely crushing it. But now that you have your pool of applicants that have submitted their paid trial, and about 2 to 4 are going to be high quality enough for you to interview, now is when you actually interview. This is the next step. Now for your interview, remember, you're not interviewing hundreds of applicants at this point. You've already weeded out a good amount of applicants to where you should be interviewing 3 to 5 individuals at most. Anything beyond that, honestly, I think you'd be wasting your time. The reason I say that is because we put these filters ahead of time. So to save us some time, we're not gonna spend all of this time interviewing a lot of people, just going back and forth, trying to assess, is this person lying to me? Is this person a good fit? Is this that? Whatever. Don't go beyond 5 people in the interview stage because again, that's just not efficient use of your time. So here's how you knock out the interviews very quickly. You're gonna get a Calendly link and you're going to preset the days and time slots that are available for you. Now here's a pro tip. If you're hiring from a different country or a country that doesn't operate from Pacific Standard Time to Eastern Standard Time, then make sure that on your calendar, you either open up slots at the very beginning of the day or at the very end of the day. Because think about it, if you're hiring from the Philippines, well, from Central Standard Time, which is the time zone that I'm on, it's 14 hours ahead of me. So if you're trying to interview somebody on your time at 10 a.m. Central, well, that is midnight their time. And while many applicants are already adjusted to the night and day differences because they specialize in working with US-based companies, it's still not really that fair at the first interview to put them in that predicament. So help them out and meet them in the middle at a reasonable amount of time by waking up a little bit earlier to interview or staying up a little bit later. So once you send out the invite and the Calendly link, you're gonna soon find your schedule get booked by the individuals that wanna have an interview. And while the questions that you're gonna ask your virtual assistant while on the interview are going to vary, there's a few that you absolutely must ask regardless if you're hiring for a cold caller, a video editor, a social media manager, anybody. So if you're interested in the questions that we ask, all of our virtual assistants that we hire for our company, then go ahead and send an email to admin@jaimeresendiz.com. And in the subject line, go ahead and put VA questions so my team knows exactly what to send you. Now again, the questions that you'll receive once you send us an email are the questions that you must ask every virtual assistant that you're looking to hire. So once you go through all of your interviews and select the final candidate that you want to work with, you're gonna send them an offer. So send that offer via email to the individual that you want to bring on and make sure that you're very clear on the terms. That's why it was super important that we had clarity on what we needed ahead of time. And also that's why we were so precise and concise with what we were recruiting for, what we were hiring for. So quite honestly, at this point, all you're gonna do is basically copy and paste what you put in the job description and send it out in the offer. And once they go ahead and accept the job offer, what I typically do is I go ahead and issue the payment, a prorated amount before the next pay period. And then I also inform the other candidates that, hey, I've selected somebody else. And here's why I do this. I pay ahead of time, even though it might not be the best business decision. I personally think it's more of the ethical thing to do because I understand that this is the livelihood of the individuals that I'm hiring. And while I do understand that technically I don't have to pay ahead of time, I just prefer to do it that way. And full disclosure, that really has screwed me up in the past with just a few individuals. I can count probably 2 to 3 people that took that money and just kind of vanished. But again, we've hired so many people, and that's why it's important that whenever you're notifying everybody else that, hey, I've decided to work with somebody else, you don't close the door on those individuals. Because in the event that the applicant that you went with went ahead and was hired on by you, was onboarded by you, and just didn't work out, you have a pool of candidates that you've already filtered out, that you've already qualified, that you've already interviewed. So you need to go back to those and start working from there. You don't want to start from square one and start the hiring process all over again. So now that you've interviewed and you've extended the offer and they've accepted to work with you, it's time to get to work. Now you get to the most critical part of the journey. Now, I know we went through a lot to get to this point, but with the onboarding, this can be the difference of all of your efforts paying off or everything just completely going to poop. Because if you don't onboard your virtual assistant the right way, you're gonna be frustrated, they're gonna be frustrated, and it's just not gonna work. So this is why it's absolutely crucial that you have a project management tool, a project management software that's gonna help you manage your virtual assistants. So if you wanna go through the research of Monday.com versus Asana versus Trello versus Notion, go ahead and do that work. However, I can safely tell you that if you go with Notion, you're gonna have no regrets. And I'm not even an affiliate for them. I'm just letting you know that Notion is the play. And what we do to onboard all of our VAs in a very systematic way and in a very thorough way is we have written SOPs, standard operating procedures, and we also have video SOPs. We make it crystal clear on what needs to happen, but beyond that, we make it very crystal clear on what's expected from each individual. So once a new team member joins our organization, they'll get an intro video by myself where I show them exactly where they need to go to get certain resources, what's expected of them, and really introducing them to the organization. Now, the beauty of Leverage is that that video that I'm sharing with our virtual assistants was that it was shot once. So I don't have to do it over and over again because regardless of the type of virtual assistant that we bring on, whether it's a content writer, a video editor, or a cold caller, our system works the exact same way. So that's why it's super important that you understand your business, that you understand what you need and what you don't need. Now, to give you some ideas of how I would onboard certain roles, not necessarily in the macro, but certain roles, check this out. If I'm hiring a cold caller that's gonna be using my scripts to do the cold calling, I myself would record myself doing as many cold calls as possible. I will record myself getting onto Redx, getting all my phone numbers, and making those dials. Depending on how long your sessions are is how long that video will be. If you're a caller that calls for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, make that the entire video. And have 2 to 3 of these videos so the cold caller that you're bringing on now has a reference point. They'll see how you log into the system, they'll see how you put in notes, and they'll see how you speak to the people that you're connecting with. Again, this is a video that's so easy to make because you're making those cold calls already. All you're doing is just recording the event. So your onboarding with the cold caller is so much faster. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours with them telling them the exact same thing that you would easily be able to show them if you had recorded yourself doing the actual task. Now, if you hire them for some help with transaction management or document management, then record yourself doing the actual work. Record yourself sending out the contracts, record yourself sending out emails, record yourself making the calls. So this way, the individuals that you're bringing on to help you the transaction know what needs to happen. Now again, I do have to make this disclaimer again, you are responsible for knowing your real estate laws. So make sure that whatever you're sending out for your virtual assistant to do is something that they are actually legally able to do. And once they're fully onboarded, make sure that you communicate with your virtual assistants as much as possible because they're part of your team now and they're helping you grow your business. Now, if you found value in this video, help me out with the YouTube algorithm by commenting virtual down in the comment section. And if you want to learn more how to grow your business 10 times faster, check out this video right here.